especially as women, we have a hard time with that because it's almost like we think we're admitting that we're not capable, and that's not the case. We are still capable. It's just that it's too much for one person to do everything, to have a full-time job, to take care of the kids, to take care of the house, to do all the other peripheral things that go along with that. To ask one person to do that day in and day out with no end in sight is unrealistic. And we do set unrealistic expectations on ourselves. And so because unrealistic, because it's not sustainable, inevitably something is going to fall apart. And then we turn that around on ourselves and say that we failed somehow. This is the Back to Work podcast for stay-at-home moms who are thinking about going back to work but terrified about what that means. Maybe you're facing resume gaps or a few outdated skills, not to mention juggling kids, life, and well, everything. We get it. We've been there and we've got you. We know this isn't just about getting work. It's about finding a job that fits you and your life. Every week, you'll hear tips, advice, and stories, all designed to help you go back to work. Hit the subscribe button and never miss an episode. Welcome to the Back to Work podcast for stay-at-home moms who want to go back to work but aren't quite sure where to start. I'm Carrie. I have Angie here. Hi, Angie.
Carrie.
Today, we are going to start, well, I should back up. I like doing series of different topics that we can kind of dig into. So the last one we did was about logistics, childcare, who's doing the housework, like that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of go into a little deeper and start talking about beliefs. So we have a few beliefs to talk about. We're going to talk about them one at a time. So this week, we want to talk about asking for help means I can't handle it. Does that resonate with you?
So I can see how this one applies. What I want to say is a belief is basically a thought you've just been practicing. And
Mm.
so you come to believe it because you have lots of evidence that it's true. Asking for help and translating that to mean I can't handle it. Oh yeah. That's a big thing and it certainly has played out in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up about belief because that's true, right? It's just something you've been practicing over and over again until it becomes a belief. And so you might not even realize that you have this belief because it's just sort of who you are. You just take care of everything. You just do everything. You don't ask for help. That's just your personality, right? But really, if you look into underneath it, it is a belief that has been cultivated over years and years. And for a long time, it might not have been an issue, right? But when we're talking about moms going back to work after being home and being able to be the one who kind of takes care of it all, because this is kind of how it shakes out when moms stay home. Now you're going back to work. So now a big part of your day, a big part of your life is taken up by being somewhere else and doing things for a company instead of doing things for your house. And so you might find yourself trying to do everything the same way that you were doing it before because in your mind, and you might not even be aware of it, asking for help means I can't handle it. And, we could even dig into that further, right? I can't handle it. What does that even mean, right? First of all, why would that be bad? Because if you think about it, nobody can handle everything. It's just not possible. That's why humans have been in tribes for all this time, right? Even now we call them families, right? We call them friend groups, but they're still tribes, and it's because nobody was meant to do anything alone. So the fact that you have a belief, or you may have that belief that asking for help means I can't handle it, there's like so many layers to that about what it means for you. Where did you come up with like that thought process that led you to believe that asking for help is bad in some way? It's bad. I can't do it. I can't handle it. And I think awareness would be the first step to that, right? So if you are hearing this and are thinking, "Yeah, I really do think I need to do everything." Or maybe you're just like, "Well, yeah, I absolutely have to do everything because if I don't do everything, it's not gonna get done." Right? And so but if you stop and think about that, like, that is a belief. Is that true? Will things really not get done? Maybe in the short term, yes. Because let's all be real. We've all had that experiment. I'm not gonna do the dishes for 2 days and see what happens, right? And you see them pile up and pile up and pile up, and you're just like, "Nope, I'm not doing it." But guess what? Eventually, they do get done. Do they get done the way you want them to? Probably not, but
Mhm.
they'll get done, right? So, looking at that and just thinking about where that came from, is it even true? Does it really make you less than? Right? The answer is no, by the way, spoiler alert. But
Mhm.
it's what we think. Like, where do you think that comes from, Angie? Like, why do you think women especially have that belief?
Really like this I really like it, not that I like it. This belief that I should be able to manage it
Mhm.
is something that we have seen modeled in our lives. It's something that partners allow us to believe if they aren't willing to recognize that you need help. Like, the other thing that goes along with this one is I shouldn't have to ask for help,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yep.
Because I should be able to, I shouldn't have to ask for help. Other people should recognize when I'm struggling to manage this or that I might need help. But ultimately, it boils down to this belief that I should be able to do it. And who said? Like, who said that? Where'd that belief come from? And one of the things that helps us to, after we are aware that we're having this thought, is try to understand why we say those things, because ultimately, our brain wants to keep us safe and cozy in our little world, right?
Mhm.
So, not that this thought the net effect of this thought might be that it doesn't serve us, that we're not getting the help we need, that we're not making the progress that we need to feel confident, especially when you're starting to think about going back to work and that transition and how, challenging that can be. But it's understanding that your brain offers you something to protect you, but also it might not be in your best interest in the long run.
Yeah. Well, something that you just said too is about you've learned it, it's been modeled for you, right?
Yeah.
So, w somewhere along the way, we have learned that doing everything ourselves, like, not asking for help, right? You're capable, right? Being capable is a revered trait for people, right? Being
Oh,
capable, right?
yeah. Yeah.
It's revered. And so it earns a lot of approval when
Mhm.
you are capable. I can do this myself. I'm capable of doing it, right? And so I think when we need to start saying, "Hey," like, sort of raising the white flag and saying, "Hey, I really can't do it all. It's too much," right?
Mhm.
I think, especially as women, we have a hard time with that because it's almost like we think we're admitting that we're not capable, and that's not the case. We are
Right.
still capable. It's just that it's too much for one person to do everything, to have a full-time job, to take care of the kids, to take care of the house, to do all the other peripheral things that go along with that. Maybe you have aging parents and you have that in the mix too, right? To ask one person to do that day in and day out with no end in sight is unrealistic. And we do set unrealistic expectations on ourselves. And so because it's unrealistic, because it's not sustainable, inevitably something is going to fall apart. And then we turn that around on ourselves and say that we failed somehow.
Right.
We
And
weren't
say
able to do it.
it's proof that I am not capable. And
Right.
I was gonna say once we have awareness of it and understanding why our brains might be choosing this thought is the first steps in trying to move past this thought. Like, if this thought is keeping me safe from something, do I wanna keep thinking it? And if I don't, like, if I have this idea that my worth is attached to how capable I am, it's gonna be really hard for me to continue ask for help or to hire a babysitter for the kids a few weeks. days after school so that when I come home from work, I can tidy up the house or do whatever I need to do.
Mhm.
Exercise, for crying out loud. Um, I I know that as a working mom, I really struggled with taking time to do things that I wanted to do that only served me, that
Mhm.
it all those extracurriculars had to somehow serve the family, right? So I
Mhm.
couldn't make art for art's sake. I had to make art that was going to be a birthday present for somebody or a
Right.
decoration for the home or something. Like there had to be an ultimate result, served something beyond my own
Yeah.
sense of peace.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I think that's pretty common because you're just conditioned to believe that anything that you do as a mother must be for the greater good of the family, right? Even
Right.
to the point where I mean, we've all heard the message too that when mom is happy, the family is happy, right? And so it's like you can't even just cultivate your own happiness without it being for the benefit of the entire family, right? So sometimes when mom is happy, family's not going to be happy because mom's doing something that they have no interest in. It's going to take you away from them, right? And so they might not like it. And that's okay. Like, you can still do something that makes you happy anyway. I think we need to change the definition of capable because capable is inherently, we've assigned this meaning to it that it means that we are the people that need to do the thing and that makes you capable. But also, I think what makes you capable is getting the thing done in any way that makes sense. So if that means you're outsourcing something, right? Then do that. So, not everybody would have the ability to like have a cleaning service come in, but that could be one of the things. You're not doing it yourself, but you're making sure that it's done. That's still capable, but it's taking it off your plate. And there are different ways to do that, right? If your kids are old enough, they can do it. They're going to learn life skills. They're not going to do it the way that you're going to do it, but that's okay. They're going to learn how to do it and it will be part of their routine as well. And so, in that way, you're still being capable. So, I think changing the definition. And then also, what came to mind is I have adopted the phrase, "I can do that, but I'm not going to," because I there's lots of things that I can do. I can mow the lawn, right? I'm not doing that, right? I can clean my house from top to bottom in the little crevices and pull out the couches and all that stuff. I'm not doing that, right? So there's things that I can do that I'm choosing not to do, and I don't see myself as being uncapable or incapable, uncapable. I don't know. Put it in the comments. Am I saying that right? I don't know, but you get my drift. So I think just starting to think about it in the same way and loosening that idea that being capable, being responsible, all those things means that you have to take it on all yourself because it's not the case. And what happens is you're going to get overwhelmed. And if you get overwhelmed, you're not going to be able to sustain the things that make you you. You're not going to be able to do the things that light you up. You're going to burn out. You're going to become resentful. You're going to just not engage in life in a positive way. You're going to just implode. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. You're going to implode. You can't do it all. So, um,
It's not gonna be pretty. And the word is incapable. I thought I was talking to you, but I was muted.
oh yeah, you were muted.
Yeah.
I thought you did that on
I
purpose.
yeah, you think about the result, if you're going back to work is to help like, if you have I'm assuming you wanna go back to work for a specific thing, like, there's a reason why. Whatever it is, to help support your family, to save for college, for your kids, whatever it is, because you are feeling like you need that additional stimulation. Your kids are at school now, so you have more time in your schedule. You'd like to, make a contribution in that way.
Yep. Yep.
Thinking this thought that asking for help means I can't handle it, how is that not true? And
Right.
how, if I ask for help, is the result that I want from going back to work more possible for me?
Right. Right.
The energy shifts when you think about it that way.
Yeah, it really does. And so one of the things that I was thinking about is when when you are, because this is what stops people, I think, from doing it, right? Is that they start imagining all the things that can go wrong if they're the ones not doing it, right? If they start
Right.
relying on somebody else. So
Mhm.
I want you to think about like how that feels in your body, like when you're thinking of it, because that's information for you, right? So are you, where is the resistance coming from? So you might start to feel, I don't know, anxious or tight in your body somewhere, just jittery, or you might just, like, my thing is I'm just like, no, that's just no, just not happening, right? But that's all resistance. Like, where is that coming from? Just really starting to look at, like, where is that resistance coming from, and start to peel back those layers so you can really understand, like, what it is it means to you when you're going to ask somebody or start relying on other people to take care of things. And then the other thing I would offer is just kind of like what Angie said. What would it mean to you to start looking as asking for help as a strength instead of a shortcoming? Right?
Right.
Because it is a strength. It's a strength. You're still taking care of your responsibilities. It's just in a different way. And that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's different. So the end result is the thing gets done, right? And that's the part that's the part that you need to focus on. Not that you're not the one doing it, but that it's still happening. It's still getting done.
Had a coach who would say, "Smart people ask for help." That was one of her
Yep.
mantras.
Yep. Yep. That's very
So,
true. And we
there
all
we
know that everybody listening to this podcast is very smart. So there you go. Smart
ask for help.
people ask for help. That's
You
right.
got this.
That's right. Okay, we're going to leave it there. If you want to learn more about what we do, look in the show notes. You can go to carriemcfarland.com. Angie, what is your website?
www.angieturgeonledoux.com, and that'll bring you right to my landing page.
Okay, we'll have that in the show notes too. But think about it, everybody. Asking for help is a strength. Redefine what capable is and understand that you can do it. You're just not going to. So we'll leave you with that.
Don't want to.
That's right. That's right.
Totally okay. We give you permission.
We give
Not
you
that you need to
permission.
give yourself
Yes.
permission, but, you know, crack the lid
All
on
right.
that one.
Well, we are going to leave it there. Have a great week, everybody. And we will see you next week.
See you next time.
Thank you so much for listening. Your support means the world to us. If this episode resonated with you, we invite you to subscribe to the podcast, share with another mom, and explore the links in the show notes. Remember, you and all moms deserve support on your journey back to work.